Initiating system 1. System 1 loaded.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome once again to IQRA Kids TV Season 2. Now we hope you guys have been enjoying Season 2 because we've decided to switch things up a little bit and change it up. Yes, of course, you've got the regulars like Muslim Heroes, Random Art Studio, and of course you've still got Let's See the World, but we've also added some new features such as Muslim Maestros, ABCs of Islam, and Kun Faya Kun with our two amazing hosts. Right, there's one other thing we want you guys to do in our new Season 2. We have, because we're getting really technical these days, we've got a QR code. If you don't know what a QR code is, I'm going to put it somewhere on the screen right now, okay? You can see it now, okay? That QR code, all you need to do to go to our Instagram page is whip your phone out, take a photo of it, and hit that thing. It will take you directly to our Instagram page. So try it out now, okay? Hit that QR code with your phone and you should go directly to our Instagram page. Now on our Instagram page, that is where we want all of your feedback. We want you to tell us if you want to be on any of our shows like Random Art Show, or if you would like to send some of your artwork in. That's where you should go to do it, inshallah. Right, before we get into today's show, because I've been working so hard at it, I wanted to keep your brains active, and what we've decided to do in parts of Season 2 is to give you a bit of a quiz. Okay, now the intro that we're doing now, I'm going to be coming back halfway through the show and at the end, but I'm going to do 2 questions for you, okay? I want you to think about it. You don't have to send in the answer. All I'm going to do is give you the answer halfway through the show, set another question, and at the very end, we'll see if you can get the answer to that question as well. Right, let me see. How many pillars are there in Islam? Remember, you don't have to send it in or write anything in, okay? All you need to do is think about it, and at the halfway through, we'll see if you've got it right. Is that cool? Right, so how many pillars in Islam are there? Right, should we get on with the show? Check it out.
Initiating system 1. System 1 loaded.
Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome once again to the Random Art Studio. We're continuing our series drawing creatures, animals, bugs, all sorts of creepy crawlies that appear in the Quran. We've done a few so far and we're gonna continue. Before we do, I wanna remind you guys, we want to see your artwork. I'm looking everywhere and I wanna see your artwork featured on our show. All you have to do is go to our Instagram account and inbox me your artwork. Tell me a bit about yourself, where you live, your name, your age, all that stuff, how long you've been drawing, what you like drawing, and send your artwork in. Again, it doesn't have to be anything that we've done on our show. Maybe it's just something that you've done that you think is really cool, or your mom and dad say, that's a really cool picture, send it in to Khaleel. Oh, right, send it in and we'll have a look at it and we'll feature it on the show, and we will also feature it on our page. Right, we've done a few lovely, interesting creatures that appear in the Quran, and the next one is gonna be a camel. Woohoo! Right, a camel. Yes, using the grid system and using our technique of looking at basic shapes, that is how we're going to continue with this particular drawing. Now, as you can see on the screen, and I've got the same image here on my phone, I would say that camel is sitting in a square. So using the pencil only, not using any rulers, we're going to draw that square in. Okay, I know it's gonna take a bit of practice to do this without a ruler, but practice makes improvement. Don't say perfect, practice makes improvement, okay? So we've done that shape, that box. Now this is the same box that the camel that I've got on my phone, that you've got on the screen here, the same box that he sits in. I'm simply making this a grid of 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Exactly, roughly exactly as what we've got on our picture here on the screen. Right, So how do we use the grid with our basic shape, scenario, technique, strategy? Right, we're looking at this camel. Now the head is in the top left-hand corner, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna draw a blob, roughly where that head goes. Is touching the top and it's touching the sides here. So it's kind of like this, something like, it goes about here somewhere, roughly, okay? Now the neck goes down below that line, here, see? Below that line, and it turns into the body. So the neck goes down here as well, and it goes up. Before it touches that line, it goes up again, goes over, doesn't touch the back of that line, which is the back of that line. I'd say about here, something like that. And then it's something like that. Okay, can you see what I've done? It looks like a crazy creature from another planet. Okay, no, it doesn't look anything like nosy, but it looks like some kind of crazy something. Okay, that's because we are just trying to figure out where does the parts of the camel fit in our grid system. We've got a simple grid system of 4 parts, as I'd mentioned before. Now your grid system could be made of more than 4 parts, could be 8 parts, could be, 16 parts, as long as they are equal and as long as you recreate that grid system on your paper. Okay, now when I did the lines on this camel, I could have put more lines in, but I just thought, let's keep it simple, just make it 4 for now. But if you want to increase your accuracy, you can create more lines as long as they're equal and as long as you reproduce them on your bit of paper. That is what the grid system is. The simple basic shape technique that we're using is just trying to roughly figure out where does the basic shape of this camel, which has got a roundish kind of belly, like a tubular kind of neck with a kind of blobby head, where does that fit on the paper inside the grid? Now if I look at his legs, his left leg here kind of goes out like that and kind of goes like that. This next one goes in like that and it just about touches the bottom, finishes about there somewhere. The back leg goes out here, and then down, and just about touches the bottom line. The next leg goes here, something like that, and then his feet are going to be here somewhere, something like that, and his foot is going to be there somewhere. So you see, I am just drawing in some basic round lines and shapes to figure out where does this creature's parts fit on the paper in relation to the grid system, okay? Because here the back of him doesn't touch the back line here, so it has to be a little bit further away, okay? It doesn't go like that, does it? If it did, it'd be all the way here, but it doesn't. So it's about here somewhere. So you can see we've roughly got, let me just put that a bit darker so you can see, roughly got where his legs go,
Initiating system 1. System 1 loaded.
Right, we're at the midway point, guys. I want to know, are you enjoying the show? If you are, hit that QR code, go directly to our Instagram page and drop us a comment or any artwork that you'd like to have featured on the show. Have you been thinking about the quiz question I set for you at the beginning of the show? I hope so. The question was as follows. How many pillars in Islam are there? How many pillars? 5 pillars. Well done. You probably knew that anyway. Did you know that? Of course you knew that. Well done. Okie dokie. Right, we'll set you another question and at the end we're going to see if you can get it right. How many salah, namaz, is there in Islam? The main one. How many salah are there in? Maybe you shout out the answer now. Don't worry, you don't have to shout it out. You don't have to send it to us on our Instagram page or anything like that. Wait till the end and we'll figure out if we have indeed got the right answer. Right, should we get on with the show? Let's continue.
Initiating system 1. System 1 loaded.
Okay, now doesn't mean that these are going to be 100% correct, but you're just trying to figure out where things go. Okay, once we figure out, yes, that's kind of where it goes, that's kind of close. Maybe that hump looks a bit weird. Maybe it should be more like this, maybe a bit flatter at the top. Otherwise, the person riding it is gonna fall off. But maybe then we can just fix it a little bit. Once we figured out roughly where things go, then we can proceed and do a bit of detail. Now, I like to start the details on the faces because the faces are that part of the face, the part of the drawing that you kind of relate to. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to use this bit of paper, scrap paper, just to cover the rest of the picture so that my hand doesn't smudge it. And I'm going to start trying to put in some of the details for his head, right? Because we roughly know where it goes. And I know that his nose kind of touches the edge of this grid like that, and his lips, are they lips? I don't know what they are. Kind of goes up like that, and then just goes round like that. Okay, can you see what I'm doing? I am just trying to figure out where they go, and that kind of very distinctive camel nose kind of goes like that. It goes back down because that stuff, his nose doesn't touch the top of the line. Let me zoom in on my particular picture here so we can see it. Here, come on, phone behave yourself, right. And then it goes up where his eye is. And then his eye is kind of there. And you see I've made his mouth too long. It should be about here at the edge of his nose. So I'm gonna get rid of this line here. Use my pencil to, my tissue to rub off the flakes. And the eye is kind of here. And we've got this strap on his face. Kind of goes here, here. This is quite, you see, again, I've picked a picture that I thought was really cool, but as I'm drawing, I'm realizing, wow, look at this thing on his head with the tassels. It looks quite confusing. It's quite confusing, Khaleel. I know. We'll figure it out, don't worry. Okay, so I'm gonna put the shape of the ear in just roughly for now. The eye in here, the back of his head kind of goes here. And that brace thing is, there's a circle here, and a circle here, and a strap here. Then you've got these 1, 2, 3, 4 tassels that fall down here. And you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. You see, 1, 2, 3, 4 of those tassels that kind of go like that. And then the little string bit that attaches it to the harness. And then you've got the little bit of fluff, the tassels themselves, the furry bit of the tassels kind of go there. Okay, let's put them in roughly for now. I'm doing too much detail. Okay, and then, so I've got this eye. I'm gonna bring that nose down, it's too high. Why? Because this eye here, oh my days. Wow, let me rub off some of these lines here, because they're getting in the way. Use my tissue to rub away the flakes. Okay. That eye goes behind like this, and that ear goes up here, and his tuffet of hair, again, that eye is too high, so I'm going to bring that down here, and I'm going to continue that line here. I'm going to shade it in so we can see it, and the back of his head is there. His hair goes like this, and one goes up like that. Let's just shade that hair in straight away so we can see it. Otherwise, we're going to get lost in all the noise. There you go. Okay. Again, I didn't realize. I thought, what a simple, cute picture of a camel. But these tassel things are really confusing me. Okay. But we're not going to worry about it too much. Okay. And his mouth is open, as usual. And you can just about see his tongue on the inside. He's got a line where his nose goes, and another line that shows the outside of his nose there. Wow. Can you see that, guys? Goodness gracious me. I still don't think it's quite right, but I think it might just do. Okay, the back of that tassel, there's a line that goes here because it goes under his chin. Then the back of his head goes here and round and back up. Okay, let's just leave that there for now. Let's just focus on his ear, over ear. Again, I'm pressing really hard so you guys can see all the way from your sofa at home, okay? But I want you to go slow and keep your lines nice and light. You can see why I keep telling you to keep your lines light, because the mistakes I just made, I have to rub them out again because they were so dark, but when you try to rub out dark lines, it makes a bit of a mess. So keep them light as possible until you figured out everything. Then you can start making your lines a bit darker, and then you can start focusing on some of the details again. Right, now that thing, he's got another brace on his neck. And I'm realizing that my neck needs to go more like this, because that brace has to go here, and go underneath that black line here, which is this line here, has to go under it here. And it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 circles straddled by those 2 lines. We've got 1 circle here, 1 circle here, 1 circle right on the line, and 1 circle underneath it. Okay, and that strap is kind of bulky, and then it goes back here, and then we're going to complete the rest of his legs in a minute. So I'm going to put this line here. I'm going to rub this line off. Wow, this is a lot tougher than I thought, guys. I don't mind it. I don't mind admitting it to you. Okay, a lot tougher than it looks, man. Okie dokie. Right, let's have a look at that before we do anything else. Yeah, that was a bit of a tough one. It still looks a bit messy, but I'm fairly confident things are roughly where they want to be. Close enough for us to say, yep, Khaleel, you've copied that picture there. It's not 100%, but that's okay. Right, so let's continue with his hump and this chair seat thing he's got on his back. There is a horn here that the rider will hold on to. Kind of like a blobby thing there, and then it just touches that line, that middle line here. It touches that, which is this line here, like this. And then there's another line that goes here, the lip of that seat. Now I'm not quite sure how this seat, this chair thingy, sits on his back. Let's just assume that it's strapped on somewhere that we can't see, but that's not important for our purposes anyway. And the chair goes back up and around like that. Doesn't quite touch the top actually, so I'm going too far up. Like that. Get rid of this line here. Wow, I've spent so much time on this one, because it was a lot tougher than I thought. I underestimated this picture. I really did. I thought it was going to be an easy one, like the lion we did and the elephant, but this one is tough. And look at it now. You get all these lines on the mat or on the carpet thing that's on his back. Wow, there's a lot there. Right, look at the time. Okay, I'm going to try and speed up a little bit and put these legs in. See, we roughly know where the legs go, so all we need to do now is put the meat, so to speak, on the lines where it goes, which is the knobbly knees and the hooves, like that, and then the very distinctive camel toes, like this. I hope this isn't one of those spitting camels. Yes, I've never been spat on a camel. I've ridden a few, but I've never been spat on one, and I don't fancy doing it now. So I'm going to try and keep this guy as happy as I can by drawing him correctly and not making him look silly, all right? Okay, but Mr. Camel, I have to draw your knobbly knees, okay? So I hope you don't mind. Is that him talking? That's me pretending. Okay, never mind. Right, let's just put those toes in for this foot. See, we're just going over the place where we said we were going to. Those rough shapes that we put in before, we're just filling in the details now. His belly, we're going to leave his belly for now like this, because those tassels are going to take ages to draw, so we're going to leave them out for now. We're going to draw his leg here, like this. That leg is connected to his back, so it goes down like this here, and then his camel toes, camel toes, camel toes. Go like this, because nobody knows. Camel toes. And the back leg goes like this and touches that part there. and goes round and down, and then his calf, and then again his camel toes, like this. Okay, now his carpet, that carpet is supposed to be from here to here, and it sticks out a little bit with those. See, he's got some more tassels. There's so many tassels on this guy's camel seat thing. Okay, now I'm going to put his tail in. It's not that long. And again, all the animal tails are exactly the same. Do you realize that? Pretty much the same. Okay, we haven't got time to do all the details of this particular one. I just want to bring it to the point where we can roughly see if we continued. Yes, we could. We've got the basic shapes all in the right place, and it's just a matter of filling in those details, okay? Which we could do at any given time. The most important thing is using the grid system to make sure all the limbs, the head, the eyes, the mouth, the teeth, all of that jazz is in the right place. That's what's important at this stage, okay? The details of the tassels, all that stuff, yeah, once we've chilled out a little bit and we've got a bit of time, then we can always put those in later on. But for now, we know we've got those things in the right place, and that's what's important. And let's put a little bit of shading on these camel toe bits here so we can just see the difference. Again, as I said, all the detail on that part here, we can put that in at any time. All those tassels can go down here. Same with the seat. The seat can go like this, or like that. And that little horn thing there that he grabs onto, the rider grabs onto while he's riding it. Right, let me see. Right, so we're gonna draw this one to a close there, but you can see there, not bad. It was a lot more complicated than I thought it would be. As I began to draw it, I realized that the head was in the wrong place, the lip had to be in this particular shape, and the head had to be there. It was a little bit tricky to get your head around it. But anyway, guys, I think we got there in the end. That's the most important thing. Remember, use the grid system. Remember to start with the basic shapes of that particular item, and then you can begin to put in the details, and you're going to probably figure out, oh, things are in the wrong place. It don't matter. Figure out where things go, and then you can start putting the details in. Once again, guys, inviting you to be on the show with us or have your work featured on the show would be mighty awesome. Once again, go to our Instagram page, IQRA Kids TV, inbox me there, follow, share, like, comment as well. Let's get that page up to 100,000 followers would be absolutely awesome, right? So inbox your artwork, tell us a bit about yourself, what stuff do you like drawing, whatever it is, we're open to all of your ideas, inshallah. And who knows, you could be featured on our show. Right, guys, I've got to go. Take care. Assalamu alaikum. And the end of another amazing show. Did you guys get the answer to the quiz? How many salah are there in Islam? 5, of course, 5 salah during the day. Right, just want to remind you that our QR code is on the screen here as well. So if you want to be on the show for random art or anything else, by all means, make sure you go over there and you can inbox me your artwork. If you want to be on the show, all of that good stuff would be absolutely amazing. Right, guys, so speak to you soon. Yeah, hope you like it was a massive up. Right? Different things you do.
IQRA Kids TV.